Happy Friday. One of the things that's been on my mind lately has been this topic of gratitude, which I had to develop myself. No one's perfect. There's going to be those people out there that naturally have it, maybe because of the way they were raised, which I was. I was raised the correct way when it comes to gratitude. But sometimes you just fall short, or you just, forget, and sometimes we have to be reminded, which is why I've been reading up on the topic lately. But one of the things I could think of is, or a few of the things I can think of is when I was in high school, I rolled my ankle really bad in a football game and I couldn't walk around for a while. And so now when I go out and I walk daily, I have gratitude for the fact that I can physically get up and walk around on the same ankle, because I remember how it felt to be laid up and having to get around on crutches. When I had my back injury and sat around and gained all the weight that I gained, which was my fault. I'm grateful now that I have the mindset to eat clean and to take care of myself. I'm happy that I have the mindset and still maintain the mindset of, looking into the foods that are best for my body type and consuming those kind of foods and staying away from the ones that aren't beneficial to my health and wellness. This same mindset needs to pour over into everything in your life. You have to be grateful. We have to be grateful. I find myself worrying sometime, not being as, I guess, in tune with the positive things in my life and thinking about negativity. This is where it becomes a big issue, because in most cases, not in all, but in most, our lives have more going forward on a positive note than on a negative note. So if you're constantly focused on what's going wrong, it's hard to expand. It's hard to see the possibilities on the positive side of your life. It may be anything. I like to talk about this parenting thing because that's my huge focus. Maybe you're not getting along with your kid, and maybe it's because you're pushing too hard. You gotta let a kid be a kid. You have to let a kid be them. A lot of the time we want to control our kids. You can to a certain point, but after a while, that kid has a mind of its own. And if you sit there and think about all the things that they do bad, I was listening to a podcast just recently, and the lecture was all about, hey, you can't focus on the negative of what kids are doing. You got to focus on the positive. You got to reward them for the positive. You got to magnify the positives. And I kind of look at this the same way. I kind of tie the two together. Gratitude. You have to be thankful that your kid is actually good sometimes. You can't just focus on like, oh, you were good all week, but, hey, this one big thing that you did, and then same thing with career. Maybe you're not making that money that you want to make right now, but there's opportunity out there. There's opportunity for change out there. There's opportunity for, moving not necessarily far from the thing that you're doing, but changing companies, changing, your focus, shifting your focus just a little bit, enough to put you in a position where you're going to be more happy. But that's the thing. If you sit around stressing out and thinking about negativity all the time, your mind doesn't even invite those kind of ideas. You have to be thankful. You have to tell the people that are in your life that you love them and you care about them, and you thank them for being there supporting you. That's a big one. Family, friends, you gotta really put the time in to remind those people that you actually care. Your kids, you gotta grab them and tell them you love them. You have to do that every day, because you don't know if you're gonna be here minute by minute, day by day, month by month. And if you're laying on your deathbed, you're going to be thinking, what if, and have all this, pent up, anger and resentment because you didn't do these things. Heck, my car's not running. One of them, when it is, I'm thankful that that the car's running, but even it's not right now, and I'm gonna get it fixed. But I'm thankful that I got another car, you know, and I'm thankful that I made the decision to have more than one car because of the idea of, hey, one's gonna break down. I mean, I'm just throwing things out there, but as I've said before, you have to take these ideas and you have to plant them into your reality. Because I can't do that for everyone. All I can do is share my ideas. And all I'm saying is you have to be grateful. You gotta show gratitude. You gotta show it to the people in your life. You have to be thankful for the things that you have. You know, if you have food at all, be thankful. You know, it may not be the best stuff for you, but be thankful that you are able to, you know, consume food. You know, be thankful if you have the opportunity to read. I am. This internet is an awesome thing. You know, if I had to go out and buy every single article or book that I want to read, I wouldn't be able to consume as much knowledge. So I'm very grateful for that. You know, I'm grateful for the friends in my life. You know, and another one before I go. Be thankful and grateful for the crap that you go through and the people that put you through crap, because you grow from that. That's huge. You know, don't walk around thinking everybody's bad. You might have had disagreements with people, and I'm not saying that there's not bad people out there, but for the most part, we have more in common with the people that we don't get along with than we do. Most of the time, trust me, that person that may not like you, I guarantee you, if something went wrong and you were physically hurt, they will run to your aid. Because, as I said, as humans, we have more in common with each other than we don't. Just because you have a disagreement with someone does not mean they're a horrible person. It doesn't mean that. Everyone's not horrible, you know. We just can't get along all the time. So be grateful for your growth. Be grateful for those people that put you through crap, because that's where wisdom comes. I've grown the most from the horrible times in my life. That's what's made me stronger. That's what's given me more wisdom. And that's what's made me a better person for my family and my friends. Happy Friday.